My life glittered with magic and spirituality. I practiced what I read and realized from the results that we are connected to our lives and the things that happen to us along the way through our minds. While my view was not shared by the Ruhr University's natural philosophy faculty, it did give me the insight that they had never understood the concepts they were conveying. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle had never led them to conclude that our thoughts affect our manifested reality. After being accused in college of having been a Hawaiian shaman in my past life, I turned my back on the concrete heads. They could not teach me anything, and I didn't want to let them empty me either. I just had to keep making my own music. My time with the OTO had made me a Thelemite, although I never took one of their degrees. I studied the texts of Aleister Crowley and companions, and in 2002 I joined a secret Thelemic order in Bochum, that is the town next to mine, that offered initiations. There I received important input for my personal career. In 2005 I met my current wife Jenny. In 2009 we got married, and in 2012 our daughter Feini took the stage. In the meantime I had resigned from the Thelemic order. My spirituality has flowed freely ever since, without isms. One of Crowley's most important books is Liber al vel Legis. Thelemites used to read this book annually at the time of its writing, 8th to 10th of April each year. It is divided into 3 sections. My favorite section has always been the first one, the section on the Egyptian goddess Nuit. This section is about love and being loved. A loving goddess pays tribute to creation, her children. She loves her children, whether lustful or chaste. In 2015, I found an illustrated edition of that book on the internet in comic form. The goddess Nuit. She looked like Elaine. Originally, I thought the thing with Elaine was just one of those short episodes. You fall in love with another person, have a crush on them, and then, if you don't see that person for a while, you crush out again, and then the feelings disappear, and grass grows over this situation. But to get straight to the point, grass just would not grow over this thing. It was like an outside force, ensuring that I would never forget her. I didn't have a chance to escape. Now, in our daughter's last year of daycare, I couldn't get Elaine out of my head for just a second. An event happened to me one day that initially disturbed me, although at the same time I wholeheartedly welcomed it. I was with Jenny and Feini in a neighboring town at a theatrical performance of the fairy tale Frozen, Anna and Elsa. Elaine lived in this town with her boyfriend. I sat there with my wife and child watching the performance and was constantly feeling Elaine inside me. I cannot describe it any further. It was nice to feel someone, and I knew 100% that I felt her. At the same time, I felt like the rabbit in front of the snake. And I can assure you, dear reader, or dear listener, at the same time of this epiphany, I certainly had the same facial expression as the rabbit. Something very great and at the same time very strange happened to me. I was used to it in the past. When I was in love or loved, it was always only one woman at a time, and that suddenly changed in my heart. This process was very slow. It also took a very long time before I could even allow all the feelings inside me. At this point of the story, many things were not clear to me. I was now in complete conflict with myself and my feelings. I was quite sure that I loved my wife, and suddenly I loved another one? This gave me increasingly sleepless nights. And fate really took an overtime and did not let me out. In the meantime, as calm as possible, I had become an astonished observer of myself and the things that were happening. At one of the last festivals in the daycare center, we parents were divided into individual groups by lottery, which were all led by different teachers. You can guess which group I wished I was in, and it happened. We ended up in Elaine's group, of course. I enjoyed her closeness, as always. In these last days of daycare, I hugged Elaine for the first time. That was long overdue. After all, I had suppressed this need from day one. I vowed that nothing like this would ever happen to me again in my whole lifetime.